CEP will not be dissolved anytime soon. SMJK Chonghua ordered to close due to ammonia leak incident. Thanks for joining me, Renee Fong, on the evening edition of News on 2. The Council of Eminent Persons, CEP, will not be dissolved yet as its services are still needed. Commenting further on the matter, Prime Minister Tun Dr. Mahathir Mohamad said he still needs the Council's services to assist in the government's structural and administrative plans.
I still need their services.
How long will that be?
I don't know. Until we solve many of the problems. I myself cannot do that kind of work.
On another note, Tun Dr. Mahathir said the government will fulfill its 100 days promise written in Pakatan's manifesto. However, several factors needed to be considered, including the country's economic situation, before fulfilling it.
All these things hinder the progress. Also, certain things need to be passed by Parliament. And it takes time to go to Parliament. We have to draft the law and things like that. So while we made a promise that we should do things in 100 days, the most we could do was to start this thing. But it will take a little more time for us to complete so as to fulfill our promises.
On a separate matter, Tun Dr. Mahathir said Malaysia will strive to prove that the private jet belonging to low-tech Joe, better known as Jolo, was bought with money stolen from Malaysian government fund. The Premier said it is crucial that this matter is addressed before the jet, which currently sits in Singapore, is brought back home. Tun Dr. Mahathir said if the jet is proven to have been purchased with money stolen from Malaysia, the government has the right to take it back to Malaysia, just like the recent return of super yacht Equanimity.
Kita akan cuba dapatkan, kalau kita dapat bahawa jet itu dibeli dengan wang yang dicuri daripada Malaysia. Kita kena establish bahawa wang yang digunakan untuk membeli jet itu adalah wang yang dicuri.
Previously, Tun Dr. Mahathir said Malaysia was in talks with Singapore to bring the plane back to Malaysian soil. The Bombardier Global 5000 aircraft costs an estimated 143 million ringgit and is currently grounded at a hangar at the Seletar Aerospace Park in Singapore since February last year. Tun Dr. Mahathir said the recent slide in global currency set off by global economic uncertainties has caused a decline in the value of the ringgit against the US dollar. According to the Prime Minister, chief among these uncertainties was the trade war between the United States and China.
Bila semua mata wang jatuh, kerana keadaan ekonomi dunia sekarang ini tidak menentu. Terdapat trade war antara China dengan Amerika, masalah di Eropah, peperangan, macam-macam lagi berlaku yang menyebabkan nilai mata wang banyak negara-negara jatuh, bukan Malaysia saja.
Tun Dr. Mahathir was commenting on the decline of the ringgit, which was trading 4.10 to the US dollars at the close of yesterday, the lowest since last November. Nonetheless, the local unit strengthened against the euro, the Japanese yen, the British pound, and the Singapore dollar, among other currencies. Meanwhile, commenting on his 5-day official visit to China tomorrow, the Prime Minister disclosed that the purpose of the trip was to strengthen bilateral ties and chart a new trajectory between the two nations.
Saya memang pernah pergi ke China, tapi masa dan mungkin yang pertama negara yang saya lawati ialah China, tapi ada masalah-masalah lain yang menghalang saya daripada pergi ke China dari awal. Tujuan kita ialah untuk mengukuhkan hubungan antara Malaysia dengan China.
In a statement today, Wisma Putra said the visit will set new strategic pillars to invigorate the future cooperation between the two countries. The trip will be Tun Dr. Mahathir's first to China since becoming the 7th PM, although he has been to the country 7 times officially during his first tenure in power. Deputy Prime Minister Datuk Seri Dr. Wan Azizah Wan Ismail says the government was working on delivering the promises in Pakatan's election manifesto, but added that it was not easy to fulfill all its 100-day promises due to a lack of clear information on several issues. She said she was not giving excuses, but the fact was that they did not have enough information to identify how deep the problems were when they took over. Datuk Seri Dr. Wan Azizah, however, said several promises have already been fulfilled, including the Aisuri Employees Provident Fund EPF program, the implementation of the zero-rated goods and services tax, and stabilising oil prices, while the process has been started on some others.
Aisuri ni memang kita kata 15 bulan kita mulakan dan memang EPF telah keluarkan kaunter-kaunter dan saya kira laporan semalam 384 yang telah berdaftar, ya. Yang pergi dan melihat, dan sebab kita ada 3 fasa. Fasa pertama adalah voluntary. Sebab kalau kita nak buatkan EPF tu kita kena tukarkan akta EPF. Jadi kalau apa yang ada tu sekurang-kurangnya siapa yang nak masuk dalam Aisuri tu mesti meletakkan RM5 dan kerajaan akan buatkan RM40 lagi untuk ni masukkan dalam sebagai tabungan. Ya, dia tak dapat tu sampai habis tempoh baru dapat.
Speaking to reporters when met at the Parliament lobby today, Datuk Seri Dr. Wan Azizah said due to the financial problems left behind by the previous government, Pakatan Harapan needs a longer time to deliver the 10 manifesto promises. On another note, Datuk Seri Dr. Wan Azizah said the government is committed and will continue to work towards raising the minimum age of marriage from 16 to 18, in spite of challenges pertaining to a clash of culture, customs and different laws in several states. She said efforts are being made to harmonise all relevant laws such as the Islamic Family Law Federal Territory Act 1984, Islamic Family Law Enactment Ordinance in the states, the Law Reform, Marriage and Divorce Act 1976, the Native Court Enactment 1992 in Sabah, and various indigenous custom laws in Sarawak.
Memandangkan Malaysia mempunyai adat dan budaya yang tersendiri mengikut kaum dan kepercayaan, perundingan akan diadakan bersama pakar-pakar berkaitan termasuk pakar kanak-kanak dan pakar budaya, pakar syar'i, bagi memastikan pandangan semua pihak diambil kira dalam penetapan had umur minima ini. Dalam perkara ini, saya ingin mengucapkan syabas kepada negeri Selangor dan Sarawak atas pengumuman baru-baru ini berkenaan penetapan had umur minimum bagi perkahwinan. Saya berharap negeri lain akan turut mengambil langkah yang sama.
Speaking in Dewan Rakyat today, Datuk Seri Dr. Wan Azizah reiterated that besides amending the law, more important is the aspect of education, namely reproductive health education, which is consistent with studies conducted by the United Nations International Children's Emergency Fund, UNICEF. Meanwhile, Datuk Seri Dr. Wan Azizah said the Department of Social Welfare, JKM, will conduct periodic checks on child care centres nationwide to ensure all of them conform to the rules, regulations and quality standards set by the government. In making the statement, she said if these centres are found to have flouted the law, court action will be taken, including impounding their premises.
Kita ada menjalankan pemeriksaan berkala dan pemeriksaan mengejut kepada taska-taska yang diberi kepada pegawai diberi kuasa taska daerah bagi memastikan taska yang dikenalikan oleh pengurusi mereka mematuhi syarat-syarat yang digariskan dalam akta dan peraturan.
In her reply to a question from Parit Sulong MP Datuk Dr. Noraini Ahmad, Datuk Seri Dr. Wan Azizah added that as of June this year, a total of 16,873 caregivers had registered with JKM. Datuk Seri Dr. Wan Azizah, who is also Women, Family and Community Development Minister, however added that 13,700 applications were also rejected, mainly because they did not possess the certificates from Permata Basic Childcare Course KAP or even the basic requirements. Malaysia recorded 51,147 cases of hand, foot and mouth disease HFMD between January 1st and August 14th this year. According to Health Minister Dr. Zulkifli Ahmad, Sarawak recorded the highest number of cases at 6,209 or 12.1% of the national total, with 22.3% or 1,386 cases reported in Kuching alone.
Di negara China, sehingga kan negara China punya vaksin untuk menangani kes HFMD mereka kerana dari sudut mortality, kematian adalah jauh lebih tinggi. Justru kerana kes HFMD negara seperti China adalah akibat daripada virus yang jenisnya EV71 yang pernah berlaku di negara kita 1997, di mana berlaku kematian seramai 7 kanak-kanak pada tahun 1997.
Speaking in Parliament today, Dr. Zulkifli also confirmed that the deaths of the two children from Sarawak and Pulau Pinang recently were due to the EV71 virus. However, the Health Ministry, together with relevant government and private agencies, have been holding consolidated HFMD prevention promotions as well as intensified health screenings to curb the spread of the disease. Commenting on the closure of schools and childcare centres, Dr. Zulkifli said such measures will be carried out 10 days after 2 or more cases have been reported in the premises. 6 students from Sekolah Menengah Jenis Kebangsaan Chonghua situated near the site of a recent ammonia leak in Shah Alam were rushed to hospital today following complaints of sore throat and shortness of breath. State Fire and Rescue Department Second Senior Officer Wan Muhammad Zuki Ali said several personnel from the department and a hazardous material unit hazmat team were rushed to the school after receiving a distress call at 7:04 a.m. Wan Muhammad Zuki said early reading of the site indicated that the ammonia level was at 10 ppm and is still under control. The school's principal, Lin Pak Po, who suspected the ammonia gas leak, ordered all students and teachers to return home following safety concerns. 3 students were rushed to the Tengku Ampuan Rahimah Hospital, while 3 others were sent to Shah Alam Hospital. Coming up, Kuala Kedah to get new ferry terminal. Welcome back. There are probability that subsidies for Hajj pilgrims might be retained next year. Minister in the Prime Minister's Department in charge of religious affairs, Datuk Dr. Mujahid Yusof Rawat, said the subsidy given to first-time pilgrims is 12,470 ringgit this year, a 56% of the actual cost of 22,450 ringgit, with Hajj pilgrims only paying 9,980 ringgit.
Kita harap on the business side of it, we can do better in order for us to subsidize the remaining that we have been doing all this while.
Datuk Dr. Mujahid also urged established companies to contribute to the Hajj management cost through their corporate social responsibility CSR division. This is to allow Tabung Haji to bear the high cost of medical facilities. On another note, Datuk Dr. Mujahid thanked the Saudi Arabian government for choosing Malaysia as the only country to enjoy the fast-track immigration system. The minister said he personally experienced the fast arrival process courtesy of the pre-clearance privilege accorded by the Saudi government to Malaysian pilgrims this year. The availability of private heart specialist hospitals in the country will help ease government's burden to provide specialized healthcare. According to Tun Dr. Mahathir, such facilities will make Malaysia a hub for medical tourism and draw more visitors seeking medical treatment to the country.
We can provide healthcare of a very high standard. But the problem, of course, is the cost seems to be going up and up. I'm quite sure that this particular institution will be very charitable and would also think that poor people also should have access to the best quality treatment that we can deliver in this country.
Tun Dr. Mahathir was speaking at the official launch of the Cardiac Vascular Central Kuala Lumpur CVSKL Hospital in Kuala Lumpur today. The 270 million ringgit CVSKL, which opened its doors in November last year, has a 60-bed capacity with world-class medical facilities and services. The Transport Ministry will build a new ferry terminal near the existing terminal in Kuala Kedah to cater for the growing number of passengers. Its Minister Anthony Loke Siu Fuk says the construction of the new ferry terminal is expected to take 2 years to complete.
Perancangan kita masih mengekalkan lokasi yang sedia ada, tetapi kita akan membina terminal baru di sebelah terminal ataupun jeti sedia ada. Ia tidak akan memberikan kesan kepada operasi ferry tersebut kerana projek tersebut dijangka akan mengambil masa sekurang-kurangnya 2 tahun. Dalam proses pembinaan itu, kita tidak akan menjejaskan mana-mana penumpang. Dan kita memastikan bahawa lokasi terminal yang akan dibina itu akan memastikan bahawa mendapan tidak berlaku dan tidak ada keadaan banjir berlaku lagi.
Loke said the government has also allocated 208.9 million ringgit to upgrade the Kuala Kedah ferry terminal, including improving its drainage system. Local business owners who rent out their businesses to foreigners will have their licenses cancelled for violation of the permit conditions. While stressing on the matter, Housing and Local Government Minister Zuraida Kamarudin said the local government bylaws strictly prohibit foreigners from operating small businesses such as grocery shops. Zuraida said in a move to enforce the ministry's directive, local governments have issued reminders to the business owners that business operation licenses are only issued to locals.
Pemilik permit hendaklah berada di tempat berniaga pada sepanjang masa. Yang ketiga, tindakan pembatalan permit boleh diambil ke atas pemilik yang memidah permit perniagaan kepada warga asing. Dan PBT boleh menyita dan serta merampas barang jualan serta-merta tanpa perlu mengenakan amaran terlebih dahulu.
Zuraida was responding to a question from Sibu MP Oscar Ling Chai Yu concerning the enforcement measures against foreigners operating unlicensed businesses, mainly in Sarawak. The Johor Domestic Trade and Consumer Affairs Ministry KPD and HAP seized 230 gas cylinders worth 53,590 ringgit in a raid conducted at 2 premises owned by 2 liquefied petroleum gas LPG wholesalers at Taman Ran Sri Yaakob, Johor Bahru in Johor. Its director, Khairul Anwar Bachok, said 150 cylinders of gas were seized in the first premise, while 80 LPG cylinders were seized in the second premise. Khairul said the raid was conducted to ensure that wholesalers are not able to rake in excess profit and to ensure that the supply of LPG gas is sufficient.
Supaya ikut apa yang sepatutnya di dalam lesen dan jangan meluar, sebab kita nak pastikan barangan mencukupi, tidak ada disorok dan disimpan yang tak sepatutnya lah.
Khairul said this in a press conference held at Taman Perindustrian Idaman, Senai, Johor. He added that both wholesalers had been involved in the business for the past 5 years. The case is being investigated under Rule 10 subsection 1 and Rule 12 subsection A of the Control of Supplies Regulations 1974 for having controlled items exceeding the permitted limit by the licence controller and failure to comply with the controller's instructions. 2 businessmen pleaded not guilty at the Kuantan Magistrate Court to 3 charges of cheating involving the offer of a bogus bauxite drilling project. The accused was charged with duping another businessman by offering him a bauxite mining project at Sungai Karang in Kuantan, resulting in the loss of 90,000 ringgit 3 years ago. According to the charge sheet, Adam Rao Abdullah, 47, and Syed Muhammad Faiz Syed Azimat, 30, had cheated 59-year-old Tibun Hua with the promise of the rights to produce, process, store and sell bauxite and laterite soil at Lot 551 Mukim Sungai Karang, which was owned by the Pahang Religious Department. The offences were committed at 2 separate locations in Kuantan on 10th June 2015, 19th June 2015 and 10 July 2015. Muhammad Adam Rao was granted bail of 30,000 ringgit, while Syed Muhammad Faiz was allowed bail of 15,000 ringgit with 1 surety. 27 September has been set for remention of the case, which is conducted under Section 420 of the Penal Code for cheating and dishonestly including delivery of property. An elderly couple was found dead in their home yesterday at Jalan Kenari, Felda Tenggara 3, Jemaluang, near Mersing, Johor. Mersing Police Chief Superintendent Cyril Adut Nuing said the bodies of A. Wahab Yusuf, 72, and wife Nilam Ibrahim, 70, were found at about 11:50 p.m. Cyril said police received a telephone call from the public complaining over strong stench emanating from the couple's house. The police who arrived at the house then had to break into the house and found the bodies of the couple fully dressed and in decomposed state. He also said Nilam's body was found lying on the bed, while Wahab's body was on the floor beside the bed. Preliminary examination found no criminal element involved and the deaths had been classified as sudden death. The Mersing Police Chief further said that investigation is ongoing and the bodies have been taken to the Mersing Hospital for post-mortem. A trailer driver was killed, whereas another passenger sustained serious injuries when their vehicle collided with a lorry along the north-south highway near Muar, Johor, early this morning. According to Muar Fire and Rescue Department Chief Zuraimi Harun, the trailer driver, identified as Barudin Hasim, 40, was heading southbound when his vehicle collided with the lorry at kilometer 130.0 along the Pagoh Yong Peng stretch. The 7 firefighters from the Bukit Gambir fire station were involved in the operation. The body of the victim handed over to the police for further action. Coming up in sports, Malaysia cruised to opening win over Kyrgyzstan. Malaysia defeated Kyrgyzstan 3-1. Iran and Saudi Arabia drew 0-0, while Hong Kong crushed Taiwan 4-0 in men's football at the 2018 Asian Games in Indonesia on Wednesday. Malaysia opened the scoring in the 37th minute after being awarded a penalty. Safawi Rashid was good from the spot to make it 1-0. Kyrgyzstan levelled in the 55th minute with a header from Ernest Batrikanov, but Malaysia added 2 more goals. Safawi Rashid scored on the hour mark before Shafiq Ahmad added a third in the 78th minute as Malaysia won 3-1. Saudi Arabia and Iran played to a 0-0 draw in their Group F opener. Both sides traded chances, with Saudi Arabia missing out on the winner in second half stoppage time when Nawaf Al-Habashi hit the post. Meanwhile, in Bekasi, Tan Chun Lok and Jorge Paramo each scored twice as Hong Kong thrashed Chinese Taipei 4-0 in their Group A match. Chinese Taipei finished the match with 10 men after Chao Ming-Xiu was sent off for a second yellow card in the 88th minute. And that concludes this evening's News on 2. In our top story, Council of Eminent Persons will not be dissolved anytime soon. Join us again at 12:30 tomorrow afternoon. I'm Renee Fong. Thanks for watching and have a pleasant evening.